Hi everyone, this video is for Module 8. Module 8 is the last module for the class, and so we are just finishing up the semester with nothing new. It will be reflection, revision, and review of the semester, and so we don't have any new major assignments, but we do have 3 assignments to complete in this week. So, and there's no room for extensions on this one because I have to have your grades done. So just kind of keep that in mind. You really need to pace yourself through this one and make sure that you start early. The assignments won't take you that long, but you do need to make sure that you have the time to do them. So don't wait until the last minute for this module. So this is what the module looks like. Like I said, there's no new information. I do have some more information on revisions, and then there's just some review here before you take the quiz. So you have 3 assignments to complete. The revision assignment is probably going to take you the longest, I would guess, just because it's some back and forth. And so what you're going to be doing for this one is you are going through the essays that you have written already, and you're looking for sentences to correct. So in a revision, we go back through your assignments and look at what are the issues that you had. We look at feedback that you've gotten on graded work, and then we look and see what can you do to improve that. So you'll have your narrative essay, your definition essay, and your comparison essay. Those 3 should be graded with enough time to do this assignment. You probably won't have as much feedback on the music video essay before you get started on this, unless you're doing this at the end of the week or something. But you can always go find your own errors. You should have, between the first 3 essays, you should have 20 sentences that you can correct. So the idea is that you take you can do 20 corrections. You take the original sentence, the original passage, and then you correct it, and then you explain what you did. So there's 3 things that you're going to write for each one. So it does take a little while. If the original is something that affected like the entire essay, so let's say you need to reorganize, then for the original passage part, you would just say, entire essay or something like that. Most students can find 20 specific errors or specific sentences that need to be rewritten somehow, whether that be you missed a comma, you missed some punctuation, maybe you have some subject verb agreement issues or whatever. It's pretty easy to correct. So don't make it hard on yourself for this assignment. You are not rewriting the essay. You are just isolating sentences and passages that need revision. So it's not quite like revising an entire essay where you would look through the whole thing and you would be doing some larger scale revision. We're looking at smaller scale stuff here because this is kind of the area where you can really improve on your own writing. Every writer has their own little quirk that like every time you write a sentence, you're going to end up like second person. I see a lot of second person in student writing, and that's just something that just happens naturally. And so as soon as you can start to identify those issues as you're writing, it makes it so much easier to correct your own work before you even turn it in for a grade. So that's the idea with this one. I have a sample here. You're more than welcome to just download the file and then replace your own. Basically what you're doing is, so I've just got the 3 samples here of errors that could be corrected. You're going to do 20 of these. And so when I grade this, I just look to see, did you correct 20 errors? That's what I'm looking for. I really don't care which essay the errors came from. They might come from one essay or all 3. If you do, for some reason, run out of, or maybe you didn't turn an essay in, then you do also have the option of these exercises out of the Rules for Writers textbook. You can substitute some of those sentences. So this assignment is not hard, but it will take you a little while, especially because you're going to be going back and forth from an essay to a Word document and that kind of thing, to get your errors, correct the errors, and then figure out why the error occurred to begin with. So you look up the rule if you need to, or explain what was wrong with the sentence to begin with. So that's the revision assignment. And then the other 2 assignments are going to be review of the class. So we have review. These are the chapters that you should look over. There are going to be questions on the review quiz from the academic honesty module, from the exemplification and definition chapters, from the MLA documentation and comparison chapters, and then from the analysis chapter. So you can look back through in those modules and see the page numbers if you want to go back through your textbooks. Then the quiz here, there are 30 questions that are each worth 1 point. So unlike our other quizzes where all the questions were worth 2 points, these are just worth 1 point. So you can have a lot more questions that you'll be answering. However, these should all be questions that you have seen before or similar ones to what you've seen before. And so it's all review. There's nothing new, no new information. And then the last thing you're going to do is write a course reflection. And so this isn't technically an essay, but it does kind of count as our 5th essay for the class. And basically, you're just going to write a couple of paragraphs on your what you did this semester. So it doesn't need to be set out in a 5-paragraph essay with an introduction and a thesis, but you do need to write it in a paragraph form and not a bulleted list. So I want to see full paragraphs of your thoughts and not individual answers to questions. And that means that you can answer the questions in any order. Most students kind of group them together and they kind of have a little bit of an intro. You don't necessarily need a thesis, but a lot of times students will come up with kind of their overall feelings about the course is kind of their thesis, their controlling idea, and then they move through the questions and kind of group them together in paragraphs as to their answers to the questions. So, and then the conclusion kind of goes with this last one, which is looking into the future on what is the important things that you'll take away from this class. So it's not a difficult thing to write, but you do want to give yourself a little bit of time to reflect on everything, go back through your graded work, kind of think about what you've been able to accomplish this semester, especially being a summer semester. Everything is it's very condensed. So you may find that you have done a lot more than you thought that you did. And then of the grading rubrics down here, just kind of giving you a guide on what I'm looking for. I usually give full points on this assignment if students answered all the questions, but I might take off points if I can't understand what you're trying to say because you didn't proofread. So I'm not really looking for a formal essay here, and I won't be leaving extensive comments on it either because most students don't even look at it. You only have a couple of days to get back into Canvas once the class ends before you can't view the class anymore. So just kind of keep that in mind. I won't be leaving extensive comments on it, but as long as you're getting all the questions answered and you've at least made an attempt to proofread it, then you should get full points for the assignment. So that is our last module. And like I said, it's not as difficult as the other ones. It's just going to take you a little bit of time to finish those assignments. And then don't forget you have one more survey that you can do for extra credit. Again, anonymous, just giving me some feedback on the class if you want to. Otherwise, that is the end of the semester. Thank you guys for taking this class with me. I know summer semesters are a lot more challenging, and I'm glad that you guys were able to stick with it and get to the end. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of your summer, and I might see you in another class.